Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts, Vertek and Chibi Bree, are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Golden Feather. This is episode 66, Wondering About Ashes, featuring Wandering Mist. Hello, Wandering Mist. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. I hope everyone has their beverage of choice ready to go.
I have water.
I have all the beverages of choice in the kitchen.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's now February. It's February 5th, and we've gotten some sneak peeks of what the new cosmetics are going to look like, so that's exciting. Also, I noticed my background is a still ocean and not a moving one, so I'm wondering what's going on with that.
It's a lazy ocean.
It's decided it's done. It's like I'm tired of washing in and out of shore for you forever. I think it's been like a year.
It's one of those oceans you go to just hang out. No surfing, no swimming, just chill.
Yep. Just stare at the frozen water. Thrashing Coyote, thank you. We appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome back. So, Wandering Mist. We start this off every time we have a guest with us. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
So I'm Wandering Mist. Lots of people probably know me from the Ashes of Creation Discord. I am one of the moderators on there, and also do a bit of content creation on the side, some YouTube videos, and Twitch streaming, all that good stuff.
So alongside Z, he's the other one you should probably try to bribe if you want to get away with the extra saucy noodles. I think that's what we just learned, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, I
saw the folded arms. That's the, I don't think so, buddy.
No.
No.
I would love to have that kind of influence, don't get me wrong. Sadly, not the case. So,
No spicy sneaks.
No, afraid not. Sorry. Although I will say, on the topic of sneak peeks, as a posh Englishman, I very much approve of the royal corgi that we have on display for the for next month's cosmetics.
Yes, let me pull that up so that people can see what we're talking about.
I just hope that when we run, the thing flaps behind him like Super Pup or something.
Oh no, it needs to fly like Super Dog.
Hey Margaret, welcome in.
Hey there, Maggie, how you doing?
Oh my goodness. I didn't do it, Margaret, I swear. It's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
He did. We're just here to help hide the evidence in the public.
Oh.
Rude.
Hey, Z. Welcome.
Welcome, one and all. I'm awake, I swear. All good.
So yeah, aside from just being the one of the little mods over there in the Discord, I know you do a lot of content creation stuff. What would you say is your favorite video to have made here recently?
Oh, that's easy. My most recent video, by far, I did a fan-made trailer, as it were, music video, showcasing some of the Ashes of Development. Sorry, Ashes of Creation Development. I can't even speak. Which was really cool. It's a remake of a video that I did previously some time ago, but I've remade it and I was able to do a lot more this time than I was before, just because you get better at editing. So I've been able to put more stuff in, and I'm honestly really happy with how it's come out so far. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, excited.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and share that link out so that people can check it out for sure.
Well,
Please do. And I saw, what was it? Was it your first episode of the podcast that you had? I forgot who was your guest.
Oh, yeah, the tag team effort.
The tag
Video.
team effort, yes. The Ashes community roundup, which I am doing with Mazriel. Yeah, that was a really surprising just collab, just out of the blue kind of thing. It's like we both had the similar idea of a video that we wanted to do, so we thought, yeah, let's just do it together. So now the plan is to do one of those each month. So yeah, keep an eye out on that for the next
Nice.
the next one of those, which will be all about everything that has happened in January. So that'll be very,
It's an
very cool.
eventful month.
Yeah.
It was
About to have
an
another eventful month here coming up.
Oh, good lord!
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much going on.
Oh, Margaret over there talking about how she's busy or something. Jeepers.
Margaret is putting in the work, honestly.
Like there's some kind of game development going on. And I won't
I
even go on
know,
about her.
crazy, right?
19
What is this?
side projects.
I tell you what, I dread to think what the sort of the schedule for both Margaret and Toast, the kind of things that they have to do on a daily basis. It's actually insane. So yeah, kudos to you.
I just yeah, exactly. And like I don't know. Here lately, Chibi and I have been talking about how we're so busy with this and that, and we're behind on getting the stuff kicked out to YouTube. And then I just watch Margaret's Twitter feed, and it's like she's doing how many things? Man, I feel like a slacker right now. It doesn't matter how much I'm doing. I'm not doing that much.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that much.
Yep. It's definitely true. Definitely true.
But
Did we vote on the
yeah,
Twitter, by the
action.
way? Yes.
Was that the MMO thing? The Ashes versus Pantheon? Is that what Z's on about?
I think are you talking about the okay.
Because there were two. There was like, which MMO are you most excited for? And there was, I think it was Ashes, Crimson Desert, which isn't an MMORPG, but that's a whole nother thing, and New World. So there was those three, and then there was like a showdown thing, which was Ashes versus Pantheon.
Oh, geez.
So yeah,
I thought we were talking about the voting on the Alpha 1 story.
oh
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. The choose your own adventure thing.
Oh.
But apparently she said yarp about the Pantheon and whatnot too.
oh
which,
okay. Oh yes.
I mean, I'm just saying Ashes is knocking everything out of the park in all of those
Yeah.
actual polls.
Chapter 8. I haven't even seen that. I should have, but I hadn't even seen that. I need to go and look at that later.
Yeah.
I'll do that later.
I'll read it for those of you
Right.
that haven't been following. Our fighter catches up with the enemy rogue, frightening him into dropping our precious prize. Coming to a fork in the road, we spy the distant rooftops of two villages. So, which path do we choose? And then you choose. I'm not going to tell you which one's
yeah.
leading. That's for you to figure out.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But I tell you what, depending on let's get everybody here. What do you guys think? What should we choose for the Golden Feather account? Which way should we go with it?
What are the options?
It says economic village or scientific village.
Oh, I see.
Well, let's go ahead and just to read off the build up for it is our fighter catches up with the enemy rogue, frightening him into dropping our precious prize. Coming to a fork in the road, we spy the distant rooftops of two villages. Which path do we choose? And then the choice is left or right. Left to economic or right to scientific. And Theater Elf comes in and says scholar. That's how you know you belong here. That's how you know you belong here. Not scholar specifically, but just choosing the option that's not present.
Very cool. I have been enjoying looking at through that whole thing. And yeah, it's I do like that kind of choose your own adventure thing. It's very, very cool. I wonder how long they'll keep it going for. It'd be cool if like they have it going all the way up until Ash's launch.
That'd be pretty cool.
Imagine.
I was just about to say exactly that. That'd be really neat if they did all the way up, at least until, I mean, it says Journey to Alpha 1, Chapter 8, so I'm guessing maybe all the way up until Alpha 1, and then possibly another one between Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm with Z. I want to see it. I want somebody to animate it.
Margaret just said this one goes to Alpha 1.
Ooh.
Yes, I would love to see.
And then we'll get another one?
Ooh,
Will we get another one? Yes?
Just keep getting more choose your own adventures all the way to launch.
Yes.
I love it.
But you're saying about animating it.
Oh man, if we can find like somebody willing to do like a really sweet animation for it, actually who I'd love to get it. I don't know if any of you know it, but Jaden Animations on YouTube would be she does such amazing work. I love her animation and art style. It's so good. So unbelievably good.
I think I've seen her stuff about.
Yeah.
Should reach out and say, hey,
Get the
let's do a
community
thing.
to do it.
Why don't you do a thing?
We have a lot of artists.
Yeah,
we
that's
do.
true. I mean, I've seen a lot of artists. I haven't seen too many people that do animations.
Yeah, that's very
No,
true.
I haven't either.
Hmm.
Are you? I mean, if you have a recommendation, Z, then by all means.
Because I know we wanted to do something animated. Actually, that's what it was. We wanted to get our logo reanimated by somebody or animated in any way.
Yeah, the guy that was doing that can't do it anymore.
But yeah, we want to get our logo animated for the intro with the little feather and like drifting down, and nobody we bump into can do it. But I mean, yeah, we could go to Fiverr and pay somebody, but we're trying to find somebody in the community and just haven't bumped into anybody.
Yeah, animation is hard.
Hey, you're telling me I can't even draw anything standing still, let alone moving.
True. I've been trying to do more drawing lately, and it's tough. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. But speaking of things in motion, so you did a community roundup episode 1, and you were talking about a bunch of different stuff in there.
Yes.
What were your key points you say that you drew out of like the Mage preview?
The most common comments that we saw from the both on the Twitch stream and the YouTube videos and the thread post, whatever, was a lot of people want sort of the animations to be more grounded. They're not a fan of the spinning in the air, or as Maze Shaw calls it, the Cirque du Soleil animations. And I completely agree. And I said this in the video, it's good fun to watch. It's not good fun to play, especially on an ability which we assume is going to be quite spammable. It's one of your basic abilities with the fireball, and you're like doing this twirly whirly every single time you cast it. So, and the Intrepid seem to agree that I think Steven said on the last live stream that they are looking to change the animations somewhat. But yeah, we'll see. I'm also of the opinion that, and again, I said this in the video, that I feel like Intrepid were just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what stuck. And they just went, right, just do the most insane animations you can. Doesn't matter what ability it goes on to just yet. Just do whatever you like. We'll see what sticks. And then later on down the line, we'll assign them to like appropriate spells. I figured that's kind of what they were doing.
Yeah, there was even another theory we had talked about was that maybe some people were coming up with like the end game version of the skill, and then it's going to be scaled back to go back to level 1. Like that'd be a neat approach. Like if those were like the end version of the like more powerful and jacked up spells, like somebody who concentrated in that one or what have you, wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah,
if it's going to be like like a 3-second cast fireball or something, it'd be neat. Like, let's say if I were a bard and I wanted to go and quickly buff them or put a defense debuff on an enemy, seeing that long powered up, like floating in the air before they crash down a meteor would be actually pretty nice. Give me a 1 or 2 second cast buff that I can throw on them, or a 1 or 2 second cast debuff on the enemy.
Yeah.
Slip it right in as I see him doing the super mega power up move before the earth cracks.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. One of the other things I noticed you guys were talking about is like, would it be super awkward if like you canceled it in the middle of like being in the air?
Yes,
Like-
that comment did come up a few times. What happens if you get stunned during the cast, which is a very common occurrence? What
Right.
happens to the animation? Do you just sort of be stunned in midair like this, just like until the stun is off? Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I think they'd probably have to come up with a default got kicked in the face motion and just get knocked to the ground or something.
I just imagined like a character that was like up in the middle of the air that like got stunned, just like falls and like lands on their like face or their back or something. So mean.
It's gonna hurt the later rounds.
Yeah, right. But I will say like it's really cool like going up into the air like that and all, but I feel like the animations alone without going in the air are interesting enough. Especially with like the particle effects that are happening like with the current one that's on screen. And things like that. They are very crazy particle effects. They're cool, but they're crazy. They're very loud in there, and they're interesting. But somebody did also bring up a good point is like, imagine a million of that over being silly.
Well, we
kind
already
of with
saw
it.
that.
But like, a lot of that with like a castle siege or something is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you remember there was that gameplay footage that Intrepid put out, which was the like when they got a whole group of the early testers and went into a castle, and even Steven said during the recording, "Oh my god, I can't see a thing. What's going on?" Like, yeah, that's what happens when you put over the top animations, and even I think there were only like no more than 20 player characters, but because it's in that such a small amount of area, there were just so many particle effects you couldn't physically see anything in it. So yeah, definitely a problem there.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, they're already taking a look at that as well. So I mean, I'm satisfied with that. I know that they keep making adjustments where adjustments are needed, and as long as they know that it's a concern, then so be it. For the most part, I'd be probably okay if they just let us choose to scale the visuals down ourselves. And somebody who wants to see all the flashbang everywhere totally can. Like if they want to go out in solo and they want to see things exploding everywhere, turn them all the way up. But let me dial it back for myself or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean, I fully anticipate there will be ways to scale back the animations if you so want. I mean, that's a very standard thing, but you still have to consider what the base animations are like, just off the bat.
Uh-oh.
Z.
You got Z asking to bring up a topic.
Oh goodness.
Proximity voice chat. I think it's a neat idea. I've never experienced it, so I can't speak anything at all from experience or whatever. Yeah, and see, that's the type of thing that's going to happen, and without having somebody real close by who could moderate that is kind of a meh thing.
See, personally, I abandoned any in-game audio thing for like Discord.
Yeah, I'm the same. Why use in-game voice chat when you have Discord?
Yeah.
Discord's better in every way, in my opinion. So
Plus, it's
the
already
cool
built,
thing
so you don't
is-
have to worry about it.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the neat thing is, Stephen was saying that there'd be in-game voice chat that's being supported by, somebody who's already got voice chat stuff locked down. And it would be neat if you were to, say, wander close to a tavern and you were to just hear the music and hullabaloo in the distance and be able to just walk towards it because you heard all the craziness going on. That'd be kind of neat, immersive and whatnot, but as long as
would it though?
It would.
Uh-huh.
Because also, if there was actual in-game powered proximity voice, you could hear somebody's getting jumped and they're like, "Oh God, help! Somebody help! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!" But if you didn't have that, it could be this poor lowly like level 10 being jumped by 3 level 20s and just chased down and terrorized for no reason whatsoever. And you totally could have helped, but you have no idea what's happening if you can't hear them. But if you could hear them, that would be a chance to, come in and save the day, so to say. But
I personally consider that to be a very niche and not worth the hassle and the potential downsides to it. But
we'll see. But here's also the good point about it. If it's known to be roughly and strictly moderated to the point where there are really good moderation tools, like for instance, if the server itself can take a snippet of what's happening right then and there, if somebody's like report this person right here, they're doing this thing, and it immediately mutes them to the person doing the reporting, and the server starts recording video and or audio what's going on in that scene, that person could just immediately face an account deletion in the case of what Z was saying. She's in Rust right now and someone's screaming racist stuff and now spamming music. That person could be just completely banned from the game forever. Have their account just deleted.
You'd have to be very, very careful with that, particularly if it's an automated system.
No, not automated. It would flag it for review by a person for stuff like that, obviously, because automation only goes so far.
Yeah.
When you get like your visual voicemail stuff, like how good is that? Even when Google's doing it, the masters of spying on everybody and recording things and translating them, even they get stuff wrong once in a while. So you definitely want it to be a person viewing things over.
Yeah.
Which is going to jack up the price of the game, to be honest.
It depends. I mean, we know there's already going to be in-game GMs, so it's that would be just another thing that they would have to keep an eye on. One thing that I brought up before on other shows is that when it comes to voice chats, one thing that I definitely do think that we need for us as content creators is the ability to mute like instantly anything like that. Because if you imagine a scenario, you're walking into a tavern and somebody's playing copyrighted music.
Right,
you're streaming.
Yes.
You have no control over that, but because it's heard on your stream, you then get copyrighted strike.
Well,
Right.
doesn't, and I'm kind of asking a question on this, but doesn't OBS have a thing where you can have a stream delay and kind of retroactively mute something? Like you could install like a 15-second delay. That way, anything that happened in the past 15 seconds, you can hit like a mute key. And just totally like drop the sound for a minute until you can control whatever's happening and then flip the sound back on.
You can put in delays, but I don't know if it will allow you to mute before any of the sound is heard. I don't think that's how it works. It's just a delay. It doesn't stop you from hearing anything during that time frame.
That should be a big request to put in.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm surprised, because I know the delay is definitely there because I've seen it. But if you can't do something with that delay outside of avoid stream sniping, it would be handy if that feature was there, like retroactively mute some of the sound or something.
Yeah, something to consider for the future. Obviously, all of these things consider for the future, but it's just that's the one thing that kind of tweaked in my mind is like, oh yeah, if somebody's playing copyrighted music and it is sounded through my stream, I then get copyright striked, and then I'm screwed.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, that and who knows what else they could be saying.
well, that as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of streamers, they use their webcam to cover up the in-game chat,
Yeah.
because there's so much stupid things that people just type in chat without thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, by the same token, that's also something you could turn off. But I mean, again, I'm playing devil's advocate on this because, to be honest, it's not really a feature that I would push for including because of the giant variance in cost, especially when it comes to keeping in mind that some people won't want to hear some things that are going on like that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
And being able to actually moderate it effectively would be insane costs because you'd have to pay somebody to strictly be listening to that all day long.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah. So, I mean, that's a thing. And that's why I wouldn't really want it to be a thing. But if it were to be a thing, I wouldn't think it'd be that bad as long as there's decent moderation tools. Like, I guess self-moderation tools, I should say. Summon a GM button would be nice, but there's going to be so many people
that's
hitting
not
that button for so many reasons.
Yeah. Can you imagine? This person called me a noob. Summon the GM to deal with it.
They called me a dork. GM ban them. GM ban them.
Oh, goodness. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Couldn't handle that.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit bananas. But on to other stuff. Speaking of UI and interacting with the game and things like that, you, sir, put up a post just earlier today involving UI customization.
I did.
Asking people what they want.
Yes. I in fact did two identical posts. I posted it on both the official forums and on the Reddit. Yeah, this is... Personally, it's something that is very dear to my heart, and it's something that I'm very interested in. So I wanted to get community feedback on that, and also will be incorporated into my next video, which will be, I'm planning to have it up next Tuesday. So yeah, if you want to get involved in that, just search for it on the Reddit or the official forums, and I will be looking through those over the weekend. It's all going to be fun. Good fun.
Yeah, everybody hop on over there and drop something in.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just, as you said in there, Intrepid have said that the UI in Ashes will be fully customizable. And they haven't said yet what exactly you can do with it. Well, the only thing I want is for it to be exactly that, fully customizable. I need to be able to adjust everything because I normally take my hotbars and I put them down on the bottom really tiny. And whatever I'm targeting, I like to be at the top of my screen, and everything else kicked out to the far sides. Like, I like to clean out the middle except for things that are happening at that moment.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could do like power auras and stuff like that. We'll see.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? That'd be fantastic. Yeah. No, definitely. And the big thing for me is that there needs to be ways to move stuff around, because I don't know why, but the default UI in literally every single MMORPG is rubbish. Although I wouldn't... Okay, not so much. No, I will say it's rubbish. It's old-fashioned. It's like, it harkens back to the days where you had tiny 15-inch screens, so you had to put things in the corners and along the bottom just so that the middle was free enough that you could see what you were doing. That's not the case anymore. You've got people playing on giant 49-inch monitors, right? And if you have a default UI, even on just a basic... So very common screen size is the 27-inch. Even on a 27-inch monitor, having the tiny stuff in the corners it's really not conducive to good gameplay. So I really wish that developers would change things up a little bit when it comes to the default UI. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that's That's kind of where I see where a lot of developers are coming from, because they need to keep into account who their audience is and what kind of systems people are using. So they need to accommodate like 720, and honestly, maybe even somebody using something smaller. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know of anybody using smaller than 720 anymore. But it could be possible. But they need to adjust it for a 720, like 23-inch monitor. Because you never know, somebody might be playing on a 15-inch laptop, and that's all they got to play on.
Yeah, I guess. But even on a modern 15-inch laptop, you got the most modern laptops these days are 1080p, right? I don't actually. There probably is, but I don't know anybody who actually still uses 720 for their general gameplay. So 1080 is the standard, and even on 1080 on a 15-inch screen, you don't need to have things right in the corners in order to see what's in the middle. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. Just saying, like, worst case scenario, there could be somebody who's in the, like, say 50s, because they started playing MMOs in their prime back when MMOs first came out, and their eyesight's not as good as it used to be, and they need to make everything bigger. But it's a smaller screen. They're using a laptop to game on, and because that's just their everything that they do everything on. Small, little, simple, and in that worst case scenario, they need to make sure that it's clear.
Doable on a laptop.
I don't know. The Intrepid have said you can play it on 5-year-old hardware. Whether that will actually happen remains to be seen.
Okay.
But,
that being said, there's also probably laptops out there that are more powerful than my desktop right now.
There definitely are. I can fully vouch for that. There absolutely are. But here's the thing. Even with a situation like that, I consider somebody playing on a 15-inch laptop who's got really terrible eyesight to be very much an outlier. The majority of people will most likely be playing on a 1080p, at least 27-inch monitor. That's the sort of the most common format. So I think designing the base UI around that, but then also having it movable, would be a better solution than still having a UI that looks like it came out of the year 2000.
Yeah. I'll also say...
Go ahead.
I'll also say that due to my quote-unquote many years of playing World of Warcraft and seeing LVUI and all these other add-ons and watching, just because sometimes I like to peruse through people streaming, but like seeing the different people and the way that they have their UI set up, some people like having their hotbars like literally right here in the middle. So while you're having everything going on right here, like all of their skills, there's just like a bare like click away or move of the mouse away instead of like outside of the screen stuff. And then there's me where I'm like, I like doing only one kind of macro, and it's like the click to heal instead of the click this person, click that thing, click that person, click that thing. It's just like whichever button I click is the on click heal kind of thing.
Yeah, the mouse over heals.
Yeah, the mouse over heals, exactly. I enjoyed those, but that was also for like higher scale rating than just your day-to-day play.
Sure.
But things like that, with everybody having their own unique play style and what works for them in terms of a UI, what might work for me may be horrible for Wandering Mist, but might be like a little bit more useful than Vertex, or maybe Vertex would be a good combination of what Wandering Mist and I have. And it's just that diversity is just really, I don't know, it adds to the gaming experience because you can really make it like your own experience. And then people are like, hey, I really like your setup. How'd you do that? And they're like, oh, and it gives like, when you're streaming at least, it gives other people a chance to talk to you about like stuff you're interested in, how you ended up like setting it up that way, or why it works for you a little bit better than the other ways.
That is a good point. So I need to make a note of this now, otherwise I'll forget it. But I won't say it now, but I will. It will be in the video. I'm not gonna say it now. But
Your desires, yeah. If I had to be put in a corner and I had to state one individual item that absolutely needed to be in the UI and be customizable, would be it must have mouse over actions, just in general actions.
Oh, okay.
If I'm a tank and I see something coming out of the back wilderness and going to attack my insert strategic player on my team, I need to be able to slap my mouse over top of it and hit my yoink button to shoot a spear at it and pull them towards me. I need to be able to do that instantly. If I'm a healer, I need to be able to send the oh my god heal to the guy right there with the hammer of death falling on his head from the mountain above or something.
Yeah,
I need to be able to instantly do stuff instead of like select through and like tab target or click on somebody, and that takes valuable split seconds away from activities.
It really does. Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to heal without mouse over functionality nowadays. After getting used to it, after playing it for so long in World of Warcraft, I couldn't do without it, I don't think. Yeah.
I think since the day I discovered that was a thing that add-ons could do for games, just a game hasn't felt complete if it doesn't let me do that.
Yeah,
for sure.
those are the mouse over heels and the turtle under tanks.
What turtle under tanks? What does...
Yeah, because the mouse is over the heel, so the turtle is under the tank. Ha ha. Talking about animals.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Sure. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Some other people, I mean, they bring up some good points like scalable items and stuff like that. And that's all stuff that I really value because, like I was saying, I like to scoot everything towards the outer edges of my screen, except for things that are valuable for whatever task I'm doing. Like in an open world PvP type game, I need to have all my battle stuff sitting right there in the middle, ready to be seen at like the barest flicker of my eye, if even that.
Yeah.
And all my cooldowns and everything need to be right at the bottom in the middle. Whatever I'm attacking, their health bar needs to be gigantic right up at the top. So I see a large scalable drop. I guess is going to be non-existent in Ashes because it's going to be just a name bar, I guess, that cracks and breaks up instead of like an actual health bar when you're attacking people. I
don't know. I mean, obviously the UI that we've seen so far is very much placeholder for Ashes. So maybe that kind of functionality would be in there, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah, the last thing I recall Steven saying about that was going to be he didn't want there to be a health bar when you're attacking somebody out in the world. There's going to be a general indicator of about how well they're doing. Because obviously if you're attacking somebody or if you're fighting somebody in like an MMA fight, you can definitely see if they're limping or, you know, if they're running real ragged, or if you're in a boxing match, you can see them wearing down. So there's got to be some kind of general indication that they're doing worse than they were. But I think he said he doesn't want there to be an actual health bar, so you know exactly where they're at in there.
I think that was also supposed to like limit somebody getting like ganked right after getting ganked.
Yeah, because it would be a guessing game if somebody tries to say jump in and beat them down to like 10 health points and then let an NPC kill them. That way they drop all their stuff.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And that way it's more of a guessing game and they don't know if they might actually be the one to do the last hit without realizing that the person was that far low.
Yeah, I can sort of see that. I've never actually played a game where the health bar is hidden. I don't think.
Neither have I.
I don't think I have either. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm totally open for it. It sounds more interesting.
Like the closest, actually no, I tell a lie. The closest I think you come to is BDO, where when you fight a monster for the first time, you don't see the health bar decreasing because you haven't learnt about that creature yet, so you don't know how much health it has. But then after killing a few, you learn about the creature, and then you see the health bar decreasing. So that might be something they go for, but that only works for the basic for the mobs. It doesn't really work for players. I don't know what they do for player characters. Maybe somebody who plays BDO can enlighten us.
Also have to murder hobo a handful of wandering mists to find out how much health they usually have.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can try. I can't guarantee you'll succeed, but you can try.
I like that. You could try. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, I've said this to a lot of people. If you want to try and kill me, fine. You might not succeed, but you are welcome to try. Just don't go crying on the forums if you fail.
Nice. Ready, set, go. Z says she's down. She's coming after you.
Bring it on, Z. Bring it on.
Yeah, what's he saying? Imagine
It says, can you imagine using like AFG Shift F plus G starter into another combo initiation after an initial mouse click? That kind of play would be exhilarating. If you weren't going to finish the combo you wanted in time, you could combo cancel for reduced damage or buff time. And that's kind of tying into what he was talking about earlier, which is if bards end up having combo moves while they implement combat, he'll totally be there for that.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in for that. Like maybe more of a, not necessarily like you got to hit certain button sequences or whatever, like pre-programmed, but using certain spells in certain ways with certain modifiers and such would end up chaining together to create something.
Yeah,
would be pretty neat. Like you write a song or whatever, and it decides if it's going to be AoE or single target, and if it's going to damage or heal or buff or debuff.
Yeah, reminds me a little bit of like Magicka. I don't know if you guys ever played that way back in the day.
I haven't played it, but I've seen or heard people talk about it.
Yeah,
I've
that
watched
was cool.
Madoka Magica. But I have not played Magicka.
No, it was a great game way back, and it was very much around design. The gameplay was designing your own spells. So depending on the key combination that you did would define the damage type, the ability. So whether it was like a channeled cone or whether it was little bombs that you place on the ground or anything like that, whether it was delayed or not. So you could come up with some really inventive stuff with that just based on the combination that you did. I don't know if that would work in an MMO setting though. It'd be super, super hard to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always imagining a system that would be neat, would be something like you have one skill that decides if it's AoE or single target. You have another skill that decides if it's say buff or debuff, and another skill that decides if it's what type of stat you're going to be casting. So you'd have to use the chain of those three to create like a single target, a hit point buff, or AoE defense debuff or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a new channel called Versus Z.
Yep. Z, we'll get something going. Only one of us can be the royal.
Nice.
That kind of brings up another point. A Reddit post that we saw today by u/Philip Erics. I think I said that name. Sorry if you're watching this ever. BDO combat. Basically, the synopsis of his conversation was, please stop comparing Ashes of Creation's combat to BDO content, because I believe, according to their post, that BDO doesn't have the same things that Ashes hopes to see realized. So the basis goes for the I'll miss that one. Please stop bringing up BDO combat when people discuss which combat system they would prefer for Ashes. For Ashes, you need a combat system which is good for raids, dungeons, PvP, and will furthermore work with the Trinity system. BDO doesn't do any of this. The combat system is heavily designed towards trash mob grinding. I would even say you could swap the combat from BDO with a single player system, such as Dynasty Warriors, and no one would really notice. The only good aspect that Ashes might want to copy is the impactfulness and the visual satisfaction, which needs a huge improvement on visual clearance. But that's it already. So And then they put in an edit. If you prefer action combat, you could at least bring up something partially fitting, like Blade and Soul.
Blade and Soul combat was certainly interesting. I'll put it that much. I'll be honest. I haven't really played enough high-level BDO to get a feeling for the combat at that level. Partly because there was no need to. Like when I play BDO, I leveled to max level just by spamming the left mouse button. That's all I did, because the mobs are so mindless and stupid and boring that they literally don't threaten you at all, and you just spam left click and just kill everything in your path. So I didn't even bother to learn my abilities while leveling up. So
I didn't get to the first quest.
Either.
I got it installed and whatnot, but then by the time I got it installed, I was like, I'll come back to it and play it tomorrow. And then I started looking into it and checking out gameplay and all this and that, and said, you know what, this is totally just not my kind of game.
And then there's me. I made a character, spent a very long time making my character, as always.
of course.
And then once I got in, I was like, oh, look how pretty it is. And then I ran around for about 5 minutes and I was like, not for me. And then I logged out and deleted the game. Then went back to World of Warcraft. I really liked the visuals. I didn't really like the way that the game played. It was kind of a hog on resources in the first place. And it wasn't for me. Like, I don't want my computer to like run out of breath within the first 10 minutes of running a game, rather than being able to sustain playing it for a very long time without really needing to max out my my like processes,
Everything.
overclocking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And by the way, hi Brown Rice, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
I did not see that. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I got
okay,
buried.
hi.
It was right. Yeah, it was right before the comments
I
came out
typed.
about Z
Sorry.
creating a channel of
Yeah.
versus Z.
Round one fight.
But yeah, I mean, I think people are gonna get tired of hearing me say it, but WildStar's combat system, I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved everything about it.
I
If they were
never
to just
played WildStar, so
If they were to just buy the rights to WildStar and copy paste that combat system in, I would not be mad.
yeah,
I
fair.
would not be mad.
But I agree with some of the comments that I agree with that Reddit post that the combat system in BDO, I mean, just looking at it, you don't even need to have played it, but just looking at the combat and just imagine that combat, but then in a 40-man raid. We know Ashes is going to feature 40-man raids.
Right.
It would be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare to control and to see what's going on. You could not do it. That game is clearly not designed around large scale PvE in any shape or form, which is probably why they haven't put any of it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested. I want to see how this works, you know. Also, Brown Rice, just to go back, hi. Also, we start at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time, if you want to join us again. I don't know what time zone you're in. Hello. It's okay that you're late. Some people don't come in until really, really, really late, so it's all good. At least you stopped by and said hi.
It's gonna be Z versus the world once Alpha 1 hits. And
It absolutely will be Z versus the world. My goodness. She will control
she
everything.
apparently is a beast. I didn't bump into her fighting in APOC. I also didn't bump into, honestly, anybody that is really good at PvP. I didn't really bump into any of them. So I guess I count myself lucky I didn't get destroyed by them repeatedly.
I think
I got
bumped
killed by
into
everybody
Z.
because I'm really not great.
I think I bumped into Z, and then she killed me, and I was like, Z, why? And she's like, oh, don't take it personally, I'd kill everybody. And I'm like, Z, why?
Yeah, I think pretty
did
much
you?
everybody got me at least once. But I didn't get repeatedly bombarded by anybody.
I mean, if the Extra Life Minecraft event taught us anything, it's that Z is ruthless.
Right.
I usually died by archers
plays
before
with
the
fire.
last circle. Yeah,
She does play with fire. We know
I play
this.
to win.
It's true. It's true.
Oh goodness. Yeah. The yeah. The other thing, sorry, just going back to the previous point about
Oh, no
BGO.
problem.
Actually, the who was it? One of the very newest up and coming Ashes content creators. He's only made a few videos so far, but Zillin, I want to give a shout out to him. He's doing some good work so far, but he actually did a video on action combat versus tab combat. And one of the things he brought up specifically with regards to BDO is that healing in that game, because of the nature of it, is just ridiculous to try and do. It purely relies on these big sort of cone AoEs, because that's all you can do. You can't have, because everyone's sort of dancing about everywhere, you can't click on individual people. So you basically rely on just having people grouped up enough, and then you're just doing these big cone AoE heals to heal people.
Like, please stay in front of me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chop, chop, chop.
Yeah, you want to heals? Stay in my line of sight.
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah, I hate that kind of gameplay. Honestly, really don't like it.
Yeah. You said his name was Zillin.
Zillin, yes.
Hey Zillin, if you're listening, we want you on our show. Also, any other new content creators, please, we would love to interview you. We want to know how you got here. We love learning about our community, especially the new faces.
If anybody out there wants somebody who either creates content for Ashes or at least heavily interacts with the community, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I think there's some names I've seen giving out some very solid information in the Reddit, but I don't think they create content, and I'm gonna probably be reaching out to a person or two there.
Yeah.
Like what was the name? Legend. Yeah.
But yeah, any and all,
Answering questions.
if you want to be on our show, we'll be happy to have you. Sorry, slight plug there. It is our show. I think we have that right, but we are a little out of touch. Sometimes we miss the newcomers, and so whenever I hear a newcomer, my little radar ears perk up. Like, what newcomer? Where? Bring them to me. Let's have them on the show.
I'll definitely.
D2.
I'll point Zillin in your direction, because I can't see him in the chat right now. But yeah, I'll point him in your direction. I'm sure he'll be
Please do.
more than willing to come and voice his opinions.
Yeah, D2 Phoenix Fire. I suppose the most optimal time to hop on would be after you get at least something put together and formatted and drop like your first or second video or so, and you really get the ball rolling there, and then hop on and
That way we have
say
links
hi
to share.
steer everybody to your that we have some links to share and things to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. But so you are going to go on to the next one, which is the discussion of disliking stuff.
Yes, I was. And yes, Theater Elf,
goodness.
Neurotoxin could definitely be somebody we could grab. We've had why am I drawing a blank on his name from Theory, Ashen Forge, Theory Forge.
Not Alpha Soul, is it?
No.
I'm so bad. Please forgive us.
Completely. Yeah, Diggs.
Diggs.
I had a brain vacancy there. It just ran away. But yeah, we've had Diggs on, so we definitely want to check out some of the other folks in that channel as well. Yeah, Phantom X. He's on the list. I'm gonna grab both of them at some point.
Nice.
So,
but
okay,
yeah.
are we gonna dive into this quagmire then of a discussion? Is this what we're
the
doing?
discussion of dislikes?
Which ironically has got the highest upvotes I've seen in a very long time.
yeah.
Because it's a very fair approach, a very fair look at things.
I haven't even looked at it, but yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, and the basic synopsis is somebody is saying, for lack of better phrasing, because I don't want to just up and read it because it's a fairly long opening there. But they're basically saying, like, don't shut down discussion about bad parts of the game and bad parts of the development and bad parts of anything about Ashes. because discussing what we don't like about the game is how we get those things fixed.
Yeah.
And if you're just clinging on to it's amazing, stop complaining about it. It's amazing. If you don't like it, don't buy it, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't cause issues to be fixed.
Right.
It's like if you go into, I don't know, test for bugs in an alpha, you want to maybe point out the bugs that are in alpha. That way come beta, they're fixed and they're gone. And it's the same thing about any kind of aspects of the game that you may not like.
I think one prime example of that would be login rewards.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking about that ended up getting it turned around. And it went from, yeah, sure, we'll totally do something like that to, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. Feedback is always hard. Criticism on a game, particularly in this early stage, is very hard because we don't have all the information, right? We don't know which parts of the game are considered like not finalized, but this is sort of almost set in stone versus this is a very early iteration that is going to be changed many, many, many times. We don't have that information. Apart from on a few select things like the particle effects on the spells, which we knew from an early standpoint were going to be toned down and going to be changed and that kind of thing. But for most of the systems, A, we haven't seen them in practice, and B, we don't know if that will be their final form. So it's very hard to give worthwhile to know what kind of feedback to give in this early stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's...
Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking, okay, so somebody once said that they didn't want to be a part of the alpha because they didn't want to be a part of a game that was broken, and they'd rather wait until other people who did want to be a part of that helped to fix it a little bit better. But that kind of like got me thinking, because there's more than one way to help fix a game without being part of an alpha. And we're looking at it. We're looking at it in the forum discussions. We're looking at it in the Reddit discussions. We're looking at it in the dev diaries and the dev questions to us. All of these things accumulate into making the game what it is. And while I respect somebody's decision to not want to be a part of the process of fixing the game, I think that at that same point, if there's ever anything in the game that they don't want there, I think, well, they do have a right to their opinion. They shouldn't have as much merit of complaining about it as the rest of us who have been putting in our opinions and our thoughts and the time to really mold and shape the game to what it should be. Not like should be in terms of like any one person's desires, but should be as a community, because should we do this? Should we do that? And like as a community, we've responded and they said, okay, we should or should not do this thing. Somebody choosing specifically to not partake in that, I don't think they have as much merit to complain about a feature being there later if their voice would have helped remove that feature earlier. Just my opinion.
No, that's to a degree. I'd agree on that one. Like if you don't put in your voice to say that you don't like something, you can't really complain because it's still there later. Like you need to let it be known. Whether they change it or not is totally up to the development team and the entire market research that they do and community research and what is and is not capable with whatever tools they have and time and funds on hand. But yeah, if you don't let their ears hear your voice on what you would like to see either added or removed, can't really complain because it's not there where it is there and you wanted it gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to being a regular, Sir Onsington.
Ooh, indeed. So I have a question for you two and for everybody in the chat as well. There have been people who have come on the forums or the Reddit and have basically said that they want to change what I would consider to be core design elements of the game. we're not talking about sort of just like a minor feature type of thing. We're talking like big, broad scaling things. Something the most common. Let's take an example of the PvP and having it be either they want full no holds barred PvP with no corruption system, or they want it the other way where it's they want, for example, PvE servers and PvE only servers. So when you get something like that, which is a person trying to or expressing their wish for a core game part of the game, a core principle of the game, a pillar, as it were, to change, do you think that is worthwhile feedback, or is that a case of saying to them, I don't think this game is for you? Because that's a very common response to that kind of thing. People say, I don't think this game is for you. You should maybe try this other game.
Mind if I go first?
Go for it.
Okay, so I think it is still very worthwhile feedback. And here's my opinion why. Multi-boxing, daily login rewards. These are things that are pretty big pieces of the game. But also, if things like that will have a change of heart, I think they're open to hearing if there's a large number of people that are preferring something that might, maybe it won't go from black to white, but maybe something in the middle, kind of like what World of Warcraft offered, where there's PvP servers, there's RP servers, and then I think there was a third type of like open world servers maybe, but basically there were multiple different kinds of servers for this. Yeah, and what Horrendous just said, core features at this point are definitely worth discussing if it's just a tweak or two. But it's detrimental right now to have that conversation as we are in pre-alpha 1, alpha 1, because that is what this phase is built for. It is built for getting that core down and put together so that way it will hold throughout the rest of the testing phases. Should this happen later, I think that would be a different answer. Should it be beta and, hey, I don't like this, still make your voice known. There's a lot of us that don't like open world PvP. I am one of them. However, I am interested in seeing how Ashes of Creation does it so that I can make a final choice for myself of whether or not I like it. But it is very valid. People like Aloha are like, I don't like PvP. I don't want to have to take in any part of PvP. I'd prefer a non-PvP server if possible. And at late game or at, I guess, launch, if you will, at that point, that's already been decided. It's a little too late, but it's good to know. Perhaps they might still make servers later on down the road that might be non-PvP, but that's ultimately, as we just finished discussing the previous topic, up to Intrepid.
And then my point of view is it's kind of the same. So I believe that anything can be up for at least letting your voice be known. Now, as far as it being a core pillar of the game, like let's say someone says, I don't like this node business. Just flat out, I don't like this node business. Nodes are garbage. The whole idea is trash. You should just get rid of it. Then the answer should probably be, hey, thanks for your feedback, but you may or may not actually like this game. You might just want to move on. But if they say, hey, I don't like how parent nodes can't have war declared on them by their subordinate nodes. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that one might actually be up for some feedback and testing. Maybe there'd be a testing phase added in if enough people voice that specific concern.
Yeah.
So to a point, it's kind of like saying the pillars that hold up the game. Instead of saying, hey, I don't like that pillar, knock that pillar down, suddenly the game just crumbles because that is the game. Mm-hmm. Saying, hey, that pillar style is dwarvish and it's a little bit too angsty and like, I'm here forever to me. You know what? It should be more stylish and decorative. Let's make it elven. So we're approaching the same exact pillar from a different angle.
Yeah.
And adjusting how it looks and how you're interacting with it, but that pillar is remaining
I
in
agree
place.
with that.
Yeah. It's a very hard thing. And the way I see it is you've got to consider, ask yourself a question. Is the problem that you have with the game, is it a problem with the design of a feature? Or in terms of like the feature itself is just bad?
Right.
Or is it a matter whereas the principle of the feature is fine, but it's not working as intended or not implemented correctly?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think that's the differentiation you need.
And that there's honestly a lot of factors that go into these things where it makes that answer to that question more complicated than simple.
Oh, absolutely. Especially as, like I said, we don't have all the information on the game just yet.
Exactly.
And we never will. We don't know what Intrepid has planned for some of the things, despite the open development. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I got completely distracted.
what we
Huntington's comment.
Wow. Okay. I see how it is. All right.
Every time my second monitor is turned off, it turns into a murky mirror, doesn't it? Yeah. I have the same problem. It scares me every once in a
Oh
while.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know if we shared this. I don't think we did. This was drawn on the 1st. Yeah, it hasn't been a week. It's the 5th. Okay. This was drawn on the 1st by the Mean Bunny. We shared one of the Mean Bunny's art pieces last time, but while we're talking, as we get closer to the end, I just wanted to show off this art piece.
And I'm going to repeat once again, the Mean Bunny is a terrible name because all bunnies are mean. They're all evil monstrosities, and they're out for blood, hiding behind a cute and fuzzy exterior.
Or not so cute and fuzzy, as I found out on my last stream when somebody directed me to Google the bunny from Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I never seen Donnie Darko. I didn't even know about this bunny, but I looked it up on stream. Oh my goodness, it was the most terrifying thing I have seen in my life.
I've just got to say that bunny is the heart and soul of rabbits. The one from Monty Python, Hunt for the Holy Grail. That is their true intent. That's their true intent. But they hide behind the cute and fuzzy exterior.
Oh, the bunny from Monty Python Holy Grail is just glorious. But anyway, so this picture, I fully approve of the Tolnar Bard. Absolutely. It speaks after my own heart.
I dig it. Mm-hmm. It's very, very cute yet mysterious at the same time.
Yeah, it's almost chibi, but not quite.
But not quite.
Actually,
Yeah,
they did call it the chibi.
Did they actually? Okay, fair enough.
Let me pull up the Twitter post I got it from.
The Chibita Bard.
Chibita Bard. Okay, that's not it. Where is it? It's over here somewhere.
But yeah, no, very, very cool design. I like it. I like it a lot. Although it seems to be missing feet.
Yeah, right. This adorable chibi Tolnar Bard by the Mean Bunny is music to our ears. What would your character's theme song be?
I don't even know. It depends on which character.
You thought the art was the bunny. Oh no.
Oh goodness.
That would be a very interesting bunny. I guess their ears are all wrapped around in circles.
Yeah. Ash just wanted to know what people's characters' theme song would be.
What would my theme song be?
Thunderstruck.
Oh, wait, no.
Only because there's a drinking game based around it, and my character would always be found in a bar.
Oh no.
When not out adventuring.
Oh no.
If I had a mage, it would definitely be Knights of Thunder.
Nice.
From Psyche Yeah, Psyche K.
Psyche K. Oh Lord. Oh, that
no.
show.
I love that. The Knights of Thunder theme is just,
Oh my
it's just
gosh.
brilliant.
Yes.
It's so good. I love it.
Z.
Oh no.
That Z is on fire.
All right. So I'm gonna swap back. I don't really have one for mine. I haven't figured out what I'm playing yet, so mine would have to be a Twilight of the Thunder God by Amarth. Nice. Overwatch theme. Nice. So finally, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys generally as a community. Vertec and I have been thinking about posting our show notes afterwards so that you all could reference them. Let us know if you're interested in that. We usually have some links that we didn't end up going over. In this case, we went over everything. But we thought it might be useful for people that want to reference podcasts and stuff like that. Of course, you could only reference our podcast if we had our videos live, and I'm so sorry for this. But just figured it might help somebody in the future if they want to reference any of the interviews that we host here.
Yeah, like tossing it, say, as a list in Discord. Like, have a Discord channel for it. Like, notes from the show were, in case you want to reference anything. Obviously, once we get back everything up to date on the YouTube thing, which is making progress, by the way. Slowly getting things ironed out. We just got to get them all uploaded and everything. Then we would end up putting all the links and everything in the description. So
yeah,
it would be easy peasy.
And hopefully for our future website, we'll have a section for show notes that can link both the YouTube and the Discord. And there you go. 2 in 1 done.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
again,
all right. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to toss out, since you mentioned the website again, if anybody knows any developers that have an interest in Ashes,
we need your help.
Reach out to us, because we'd like somebody in the community especially to be involved with getting that website up and going. But hopefully it's somebody with some good development muscle, because there's some things we want to do and it's going to get complicated.
We need help.
With your own website? I thought you meant the Ashes website.
No, our own website.
No,
They're already doing that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we saw a sneak peek of that.
Yeah, we did.
I'm all in
It
favor
looks
of,
pretty.
by the way. It looks very cool.
But can I mention my website if you have any suggestions for me?
Sure. What you got?
Sure.
Yeah, shoot me over a PM or something, and we'll drop it there, or mention it out in there, because you can't drop any links in there.
Yeah.
Unless you want to give them permission. But
aside from that,
either way, while we're closing that out, I'll go ahead and say the adios is now. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. We definitely appreciate your time, and we're so happy you joined us. Time is something you do not get back, and you spent it here. We hope we made you proud.
yes. And as always, we are working hard to sneaks around the link block, right? As always, we are working hard to make our shows better. And I know that we had a lot of issues where we needed to cancel our stream last minute, and we're slowly getting back to the number of people that were able to view us before. But please let us know if there's anything we can do to make our show better. I vote for crazy and wild sound effects personally. But
get a soundboard up here.
Yeah, get a soundboard going, good, thank you. As always, for those of you that are joining us and are new to our podcast, we are live every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And I'll leave you the math for all the other time zones. But we always enjoy having you guys come and chat with us. We always enjoy having these discussions. Thank you, Wandering Mist, for taking time out of your midnight to come and chat with us.
No worries.
We assumed you were in like Z's area, like about time frame area. And when you were on last week, I was like, I think he passed out already.
Yeah, so. Me and Z are in the same time zone. So yes. Yeah, it's currently 1 o'clock in the morning for me, but that's okay because this was worth it.
Yes, it's always worth it to us too. He's in the posh part. Okay. Fancy.
Yeah, Z lives up north,
Okay.
She's going to hate me for saying that, but she lives up north.
Is the Golden Feather
Not that
AOC
long.
community
Dakota place.
website public? Happy to at least chime in on what might be positive with the right talent on your team. Thank you so much for sharing the game with us. Oh, no problem. I don't think it's public yet. We have, I think, was it like a little like coming soon thing right now?
That may even be down now.
Oh.
Because we did start on something, but then everything got crazy busy last year, and we
Yeah.
kind of dropped everything to focus on the new jobs and moving and everything like that.
Yeah, and we want
So
to
we're
be
slowly getting back on it.
Yeah, we want to be absolutely transparent. We can't afford to pay you, but we are planning on as we get income from this stuff, you'll get a percentage of it then. Just nothing upfront. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's why we need somebody who's in the community and passionate about Ashes, so that they, like us, are not going to expect income, and any kind of money coming from it would be grand,
Yes.
but not expected whatsoever. And it would also come after paying the bills to make the website the best it can be.
Yeah, we have plans and we need your help. But
Yeah.
anyway, thank you, Wandering Mist. We'll let you get some Z's, and hopefully, unlike Z last time, you didn't drink coffee before this, so you can get to sleep.
I mean, this is almost as bad as coffee, so
That's fair.
it's
fair.
fine.
2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Whoever's in the next Alpha 1
We'll see you
preview
there.
phase. Weeks.
Oh,
there.
yes. Gonna
Couldn't
be fun.
sleep after last week. Yeah, I imagine. You're like downing coffee real quick. She's like, I'll join in. I was like, okay. She's like, wait, no, really? And then like just drink some coffee real quick. Alrighty.
Choked it down real quick.
I'm going to go ahead and actually end this. Thank you guys. See you next week, 7 p.m. Same time, same place. And hopefully a new guest. Later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.